And we are now finally back at it again. GG Easy All-Star Invitational. Ito na nga, kakabalik lang natin. And we are very sorry. We apologize for some technical difficulty. Aside from that, syempre, si Berg din, nagkaroon din siya ng problema on his side. Since alam naman natin ngayon na bumabagyo, di ba? So, intindihin na lang natin. And maraming salamat pa rin sa lahat na sumusuporta. Grabe, solid kayong lahat na nandyan. Pero bago magsimula ang lahat, my name is Eliza Taylor. Kasama natin ulit si Laika. Kaming dalawa ulit ang inyong host para sa araw na ito. Ngayon, konting recap lang, Laika. Ano na bang nangyari kanina?
Kanina nakita natin kung paano nanalo yung Bren E-Smurfs dun sa ating unang laban. Nasimulan na natin yung second matchup between Brennan M and Jillian's Angels. Kaso, yun nga, nagkaroon ng konting problema. Pero ngayon, andito na tayo para bumawi. So, ang susunod na laban na mapapanood natin ay walang iba kundi ang Gibo and Friends and the Vashers. Sure na sure ako maraming fans tong dalawang teams na to. So, for just a quick listing down of the names, dito sa Gibo and Friends, andito si Foods, si Gibo, si Trix at si Gadowers. Samantalang dito naman sa The Vashers, syempre di pwedeng mawala si Jessie Vash dyan. Kasama niya rin si Justin Weaver, Lax, Super MJ at si Tony Banks. Yun ang lineup natin.
Dalawang Trix yun na. Pero wag niyo munang kalimutan, guys. Meron kaming ongoing giveaway para sa lahat nang nanonood dyan, namimigay kami ng XSplit licenses. Aside from that, meron pa tayong GCash na worth 500 pesos. And meron tayong peripherals, gaming peripherals from Legion. Maraming salamat sa mga sponsors natin.
Syempre, hindi nga kasi magiging posible ang lahat ng ito if it weren't for the help of our sponsors. So maraming salamat to Globe at Home, because with Globe at Home, you can recreate the world right at home. At salamat na rin sa ating official PC partner, Legion Philippines and Intel. Styles outside, savage inside, and with Intel, gaming happens with Intel. Powered by XSplit tayo dito at brought to us by Valorant PH and Valorant Rising.
Ayan, eto nga, binubuo na natin tong tournament na ito, no? Sa mga kakarating lang dyan, sa mga kaka-tune in lang dyan, this is an All-Stars Invitational. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo makikita yung mga normal teams na magkakasama dito. Kasi, kumbaga, minix up natin, nilagyan natin ng konting spice. Kumbaga, itong mga teams na ito, step up natin, literally, itong tournament natin. Dahil, tumataginting na 25,000 pesos lang naman ang ating prize pool dito. At ang matindi pa, Laika, alam mo ba? Winner takes all.
Ooh, panalong-panalo ka nga naman doon. Tuloy ang laban ngayong araw. So, maraming salamat ulit sa mga andito pa rin at tuluyan na sumusuporta. Huwag niyo kalimutan na i-comment dito sa comment section natin, sa chat natin, yung mga teams na sinusuportahan nyo at gamitin nyo yung official hashtags natin para kayo rin, pwede rin kayong manalo ngayong araw na to.
Tama ka dyan, Laika. Ito nga, mabilisang shoutout muna sa lahat ng mga viewers natin dyan, especially sa ating Twitch and Facebook natin. Ito, nandito nanonood sina Zen B ngayon at ibang mga, actually kanina pa nila to inaabangan eh. Hindi pa tayo naka-live pero nagko-comment na sila dito. Andito si Brock PH, Dalandan, andyan din si Sayan PH, andyan ka din, like kami yan. Nakikita ko yung pangalan mo dito. Si TF Cloud, hello sa inyong lahat dyan sa Twitch. How about sa Facebook naman natin na Laika?
Dito sa Facebook natin, ang dami pa rin nanonood. Si Berg actually bumibisita dito. Excited na siya sa laban niya. Kaso syempre, nagkakaproblema nga. May mga nag-cheer dito kay Idol Jessie Vash, kay Kuya MJ daw. Ayan, ang daming nag-cheer. So maraming salamat sa inyo, guys. Pero sa ngayon, mag-hello muna tayo sa ating mga casters kasi oras na para sila yung mag-reveal sa atin kung ano yung mga map ban, agent picks at iba pang mga bagay. So, Vyminal and Ling, take it away.
Thank you so much, Terror and Laika. It's good to be back. And of course, I'm with Ling right now. And of course, my name is Vyminal. We're getting ready to get into the game. Vashers versus Gibo and Friends. Sobrang excited ako makita yung laban na to, Ling.
Sobrang
kilala natin to eh. Yung mga player dito eh.
Kilala talaga ngayong gabi, Vyminal, because it's not only just gonna be the pro players tulad na sinabi kanina ng mga hosts, it's also gonna be the top online personalities, mga artista, and of course, mga streamers din makikita natin ngayong gabi. Quite an interesting lineup here. But then again, could this actually be good enough chemistry upang makakuha talaga sila for that 25,000 prize pool? That's winner takes all. Jessie Vash, of course, mga pro players na makikita natin with quite a good, honestly, this is gonna be quite a
Grabe
good
yung pedigree
promising
ng mga
lineup,
players
I might have
natin
to
eh.
say.
Oh.
Grabe talaga. But ito, fun fact, these are not, yung mga girls na nakikita natin ngayong gabi for this tournament are not, ayun parang sabihin talaga, may mapapalag talaga sila dito tonight. I mean, in it to win it. I mean, we've seen a lot of tournaments, and so I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty much aware na sobrang active ngayon ng mga all-girls tournament, and we are going to be familiarizing ourselves with the players such as Lax and Trix. Trix,
Mga
for all
FSL
I know,
players, no?
yes, FSL players indeed.
So it looks like we're gonna get into the agent picks right here, Ling. Jesse Vash gonna be playing his signature Sage. Tony Banks on that Sentinel. Magkikilljoy siya mga kaibigan. Super MJ on Duelist. And Justin Weaver. No, signature pick rin niya to. Raze. And Lax gonna be on that Brimstone. So wala silang masyadong intel. I guess you could say Killjoy is sort of like, semi-intel pick. But yeah, well balanced composition here. Pretty standard meta. We're getting confirmation on what map we're going into right now. But Ling, why don't you say your thoughts about the lineup of Gibo and friends?
Well, for so far, nakikita natin a signature pick naman po ng manggagaling
Gado.
coming out from Gado. Yeah, Reyna pick once again. I've seen actually seen a lot of games na nilalaro niya ang Reyna, but I really do hope this thing actually changes things once he actually participates on his All-Star Invitational. But of course, Foods anchor agent once again as expected. I'm gonna be seeing
Yes.
a lot more, expecting a lot more coming out from his pick. As you know, Killjoy
Okay.
is actually a pretty good agent, I might say, and I'm actually really looking forward sa mga buffs na gaganapin on towards the next updates. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a huge treat for everyone that's Killjoy mains out there, and Foods is gonna be there to show him what he got, and of course may matutunan din tayo a thing or two coming out from the plays na ipapakita sa atin ngayong gabi.
All right, it looks like we're gonna be heading into Split in just a little bit, my friends. And here, Gibo, siya yung coach ng Brent Valorant team. So I expect, quite a lot from this man. He's been playing formerly for Team 5 before, sila Jesse Vash became Team Adroit, and then now they're Team Brent. So of course, coach si parang Gibo dito, pero talagang mailalaman rin siya dito. And he's, usually playing comfortable on his smoke role. So yeah, he's gonna be playing Omen. I expect to see a lot of big plays coming in from here. And looks like the action is underway here.
Underway, and of course inclining more on towards that A side take. Now saan Omen is going to be going in for that smoke on towards Heaven, where in fact there's going to be a quick entry coming out from Trick. So far no frags happening here, huge engagement on towards Elbow, but Lax being the one to even prevail on towards his duel. She's going to be low on HP, but Gibo taking out 2, and of course Gado as well. Attacking sides are going to be looking so promising so far, but we are going to be left with Tony Banks putting this out on a 1v3. He has his ghost in hand. Of course, no utilities to actually play this one out and not going to be hitting his shots. And that's going to be the first round na mabibigay natin for Team the Vashers.
Now let's go. Team Gibo and friends making it happen right here, right now. 1-0. And of course, grabe yung momentum, Ling, no? Pag nakakuha ka ng points on attack on split. You know this map to be very, very polarizing. But of course, at this high level of play, it can really go either way. It doesn't necessarily translate na parang, porque attack ka, mahirapan ka mag-split. Sometimes our teams have something up their sleeves to make this sort of more palatable on the attack side. So, immediately Gado and Gibo making it happen there in the first round. Looks like magbe-B main stack sila dito.
B main stock, and of course, makikita natin that there's gonna be a flank na mukhang aggression in Jesse Rush is gonna be completely punished out of that. A quick B side take na makuha natin dito, and Tricks, Foods, mukhang i-open nila ang B side almost immediately with their Spectre buys. Of course, with Raze and of course the Brimstone Lack, sila pong matitira dito. Quick burst plays coming out from Justin Weaver, mukhang makakambulot pa nga siya ng Spectre, but there's gonna be a quick refact na gagaling kay Tricks coming out from behind, and that's gonna be the second one na mabibigay for Gibo and friends.
Talagang si Gado hindi siya natatakot. Vandal agad coming into the second round pa lang, mga kaibigan. So, kita-kita natin ngayon, there will be a slight gun disparity. Magkaka-gun disadvantage yung Gibo and friends. But, since Gado will be paving the way with his rifle, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Actually, I think most of them upgraded. Yeah.
Actually, most of them actually did. Makita natin may mga phantom vibes na lalabas kami from both teams. And of course, marang standard burst play. Medyo magsistock talaga tayo dito mostly.
Oh.
Especially coming out from the lineup ng Gibo and Friends. It's basically all or not, basically all or nothing na binibigay natin dito. But of course, mukhang they're gonna be sticking this out together. Once, like, it's basically them trying to utilize each other's utilities and of course, just playing around each other to make the side takes a lot more easier. Just how we've actually been seeing on towards the map, where in fact Food is already his way on towards CT, picking up the one from screens, but Tony backs from the Vandal, prevailing over this duel. Trix is not going to be turning just in time because Lax is going to be there for the stalling and of course going in for that side hold. Pretty effective, I might say, although Gibo is going to be trying to even hold out a single angle or two na kung saan pinipili talaga niya mapipitas dito on towards his game, and seems like he's going to be left to play this out on a 1v3 na kung saan Killjoy and the Brimstone are going to be low on HP.
Well, that's really the most unideal situation right there. The spike is right smack dab in the middle of a main. And, there's really nothing you can do pag, na triple crossfire na yung natitirang agents ng the Vashers dito. And of course, Lax making it happen for her team right there. Very, very good defensive hold coming in from the Brimstone.
I might have to say, parang sasabihin mo talaga, there was like minimal utilities na naipagtapon ng ni Lax dun just a while ago. But the combat scene beacon talaga was actually pretty much enough. Firepower pretty much good enough to actually even counter or deny anyone who's going to be going in for the side take. And they're not going to be even successful in going in for the peaks here because Super MJ mukhang mapipitas early point in the round with that one dig na makikita natin coming out from the Sheriff galing kay Gibo. Dito, Tony Bags re-aggressing on towards the B main pick once again. It seems like he's going to be getting a quick frag there and pretty much no one on towards Vyminal is going to decide to even go in for the repeak. And of course, no one can even regress all on their own for the dry picks. Tulad na ginagawa nila dito sa mid na kung saan Tricks, Foods making a few openings here and there, but Lax though, he's trying to even go towards the flank here. Still 100 HP, one smoke being left on towards his utilities, on towards his kit, but seems like he has the Phantom in hand. Playing this out on a 1v3, Omen still has the ultimate to play around here, but seems like the post-ban situation is going to be there coming out for Team Gibo and Friends, backside B tunnels, and pretty much a good crossfire na masasabi talaga natin dito sa nakikita.
I think at this point, no, mag-save na lang si Lax. I mean, there's absolutely zero win condition at this point. Now it's a 1v2, but I don't think Lax has enough time. So yeah, she's definitely gonna go for that save. Ang ganda ng opening pick ni Gibo dun eh. Na 1D agad si MJ.
Parang it's honestly hard for them to just go in for the dry picks this time around. Nakikita mo naman sa agents nila, like you've mentioned a while ago, Vim, na wala silang intel play. So basically, kailangan talaga nila to actually risk their lives just to even get the information that they need. Just something talaga na could make or break whatever's going to be happening on towards the later part of the round, which is dun talaga sila nahihirapan. With Killjoys in hand, probably an interesting choice of their controllers, but still dito talaga sila nahihirapan as attackers. They have no info to play around with and basically no utilities to even go in for the flash peaks because this is considerably hard to play around with. Imagine going up against an Opera and kinakailangan mo talaga to even go in for the dry peaks and basically no utilities to even zone them out in their positions.
Binabasa ko yung mga comments sa chat natin at mukhang sinasabi nila na ang crosshair ni Gibo mas malaki pa daw sa ating hinaharap. Pero itong pwede na lang gawin dito for the side of sila Tony Backs. Nice kill there, Tony Backs and Jesse Bash. Pero 'di ba, pwede mong iwanan yung pwede mong iwanan yung isang site pag na-setapan mo yun ng Killjoy. Yun na yung info play mo Magla-lurk ka. Bago maabot yung nerf kasi after the nerf, di mo na pwedeng gawin yan. Spike is gonna be planted at B. Orbital strike coming down. Although Spike is planted.
Spike is gonna be planted. Post-plant situation, pretty much an interesting setup behind the Galing Gadget. With that wall boost, not gonna be getting a few frags here and there, and a clean retake. I might have to the good use for even for the defender side to even try to zone out everyone on towards the side. But seems like here, it wasn't really an effective setup na nanggagaling coming in from the attacker side early point of that post-ban situation. But you did mention a while ago, Vim, yung sa turret na pwede mong iiwanan on towards the side.
Diba?
A pretty interesting fact din kasi dun is hindi sila, I mean, basically, as defender side, mahihirapan pa rin kayo regardless. Unless
Of
you would
course.
be quite confident with your retakes. Kasi dun talaga natin ma-make or break if you're gonna be playing around that strat when it comes for your defensive setup. And, you know,
It's still not
mapapagkatiwalaan naman
ideal,
talaga.
right? Still not the ideal like info game. Pero you know, at this point in time, you have to make use of your own devices. But again, you know, when it comes to these sort of fantasy draft style matchups, lahat sila star player, lahat sila magagaling. Pero paano sila nagka-chemistry as a team, diba? Yun talaga yung labanan dito eh. Super MJ taking down Gado with that operator. This is a really good pick kasi, of course, main entry frag nila si Gado.
Kailangan talaga niya as his main entry na makakuha ng at least one coming out from this play. But seems like ang ultimate po ni Gibo, i-commit ng isang napakaliking crosser and isang napakalit na ulo na hindi niya makakakita. That's gonna be Lux taking him out, and Vashers is gonna be able to take down two coming out from the mid control. And of course, quick trades and refrags just for even not letting anyone to cross on towards B Heaven.
That was a really good defensive hold from Jesse Vashers, securing that multi-kill over there on Heaven. And that really is his domain. He's played that time and time again. He really knows how to hold that position. So it looks like Super MJ is going to be taking an aggressive operator position here. Looks like, you know, tinan natin kung makakapitas siya dito. Pag nakapitas siya, sobrang laking advantage yun. Especially if it's, you know, going to be perhaps the smoker, you know, on the lurk, or perhaps Strix on the lurk as well.
Well, actually, yung openings na makukuha niya could actually be a huge thing, just like as you said, Vyminal, because, you know, getting this out on a 4v5 na situation, this could actually be pretty much enough for the defender's side na sasabihin talaga that could breathe a little bit more makakaluwag talaga sa hininga dito. But unlike what's happening here, I am definitely gonna be seeing them trying to even re-aggress their way on towards A-Ram, when given that there's gonna be an A-stack na nagagaling coming out from the defender's side, this could actually be not enough. Lockdown being committed, seems like mo kami mapapalag naman tayo dito because the
Oh,
ball
Jesse
is be
Vash.
enough to actually cancel this one out. And of course, attacker side, mukhang they're in a pretty tight spot right now. Empress being committed, and so far no frags happening. The threat is going to be holding off a single angle here, but seems like you're going to be expecting a few plays coming in from Gado. Na kung saan mapipitas pa nga niya si Super MJ with that aggressive peak with the operator. Flight 1 ang gaganap dito. Showstopper picking off one, Lax being one, the first one to fall down. It seems like Foods, Gado clearing out the side and finishing this out on a 3. 3-4 na ang score, and seems like kahit sabihin talaga natin medyo nahirapan sila to go even for the burst play, it seems like it did prevail once and for all, and actually that was a good play, I might say, for the attackers, not aggressing too soon and not being too passive on towards this side take.
I think tamang-tama yung timing nila dun, Ling, eh, no? Grabe yung patience play. They did not get impatient kasi alam nilang may, you know, online yung ultimate kills, online yung showstopper ni Justin Weaver dito. So, you know, they couldn't make any hasty decisions right there. Pero when they sort of held back a bit and sort of baited that rotate from the defensive team, dun sila nag-burst. Ang ganda ng ginawa nila dun. Looks like standard mid control. Makikita natin perhaps.
At mukhang dyan pa nga makakapita si Justin Weaver with that aggressive swing, but Gato with a quick refrag. Jesse Vash could actually get the 1 out of 2 here, but of course he's gonna be securing 2 kills for the team. 1v4, we're gonna be left with the Sage. Still has his ultimate though. Trix could actually make a frag here, but the dash out and the Cloudburst denied that information, and of course the tag down na makukuha niya coming up from Super MJ. But you know, sa nangyari kanina, nangyari kanina from the previous, I'm gonna have to say, parang honestly, Gibo and friends, they were in a pretty tight spot, just like I've mentioned, but it seems like kahit walang lockdown, they really don't need it. And I'm pretty sure that the Feather side were a bit too hesitant to even go in for the aggressive swings, just to even make sure that someone is actually going to be there, or someone is going to be stacking their way on towards Iran, which is, might have to say, parang it's going to be a really big thing na kinakailangan talaga nila. You really have to make sure, even if this is going to be another fake, or possibly like a full commitment, just as what we're seeing on the screens just right now, where Gibo and friends trying to clear out angles on towards close B tunnels rather. But then Paranoia coming into play. There's gonna be the wall to even deny the frags, and of course, damage na manggagaling all the way from Pillar. It seems like B side is completely for the taking for Gibo and friends. Commitment po para sa ultimate for para kay Jesse Vash. Ang mukhang he's gonna be getting another one, like a single frag coming out of this play. But lockdown po, just to even zone off the attacking side for their post-pass situation. B side, backside is not gonna be for their taking, but Swarm Grenade, Showstopper galing kay Justin Weaver, picking
Oh my
out
God,
two
okay.
on towards B tunnels, just right behind the smoke, and of course Pain Shells, boom bot po para makatag down ng isa, but seems like no one is gonna be crossing the path of the smoke and not gonna be risking to even defend for the bomb plant.
I mean, here's the struggle of attacking on split side. You're going to go through those chokeholds, right? And I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking mid control. I think at this point in time, one of their best bets is try to take mid control here. Sort of, split the team from sewer side to market side, and then one lurk B main and A main. That's pretty much the standard default blocking here on split attack, and I'd like to see them do that. I think that's really gonna work out well for them. The reason why I think it failed during the last time was that all of them came from Ramo, right? And parang naka-multi-kills Justin Weaver, naka-multi-kills si Jesse Bash kasi isang side lang sila lahat. So, looks like they are going to be splitting up here, trying to take standard mid control. No rotations as of yet. Yeah.
The organization as a bit kasi coming out from the map control na kung saan hanggat saan lang maabot ng Gibo and friends coming out from this play is considerably not much. Pag alam ni Jesse Vash na hindi sila makakatong, there's basically no point of entry na makakuha nila coming out from that map control that they currently have. But seems like here, mukhang they're making a few default plays all on their own here this time around, where in fact, Trix could actually make a few openings on towards B side because nasa kanya na nga ang spike. It seems like he's getting, forced to zone off, getting at least one there, but Tony Banks with the Swarm Grenade, a pretty good hold on towards B, but a quick refrag coming out from Gato is basically enough, completely opening B side all onto their taking. It seems like the defenders, Jet, and of course the Brimstone being able to at least go and re-aggress their way on towards B Heaven. But Super MJ with the Operator is going to be holding off at least one angle here on towards Pillar, just tries to at least check if there's someone who's going to be playing for Rafters, but literally no. That's going to be a quick peek na manggagaling sa Omen na hindi niya mapipitas, but there's going to be Gato with the flank here and finishing this round with the 4K. Also, they're going to be denying the retake, and of course the Operator save.
I mean, Gaddo is just looking really, really on fire right now. 15 frags on the board, 6 deaths. He's currently match MVP right now. And this is a type of guy that you cannot leave unchecked. If he, goes around with impunity, securing those multi-kills, he got a 4K in that previous round, if I'm not mistaken. And, Super MJ had an operator that, you know how hard it is to retake with an operator, Ling. I mean, you're an operator. You know the struggle. But, here, Justin Weaver and Jesse Vash looks like they're taking another aggressive position here. They are expecting the pre-nade. At this point in time, you can't keep doing that over and over again, right?
At this point in time, ang hirap talaga for them to actually have the repetitive strats kasi that's what makes them easy to read. But this time around, I'm gonna be seeing a pretty much no contest on towards the mid control na ginagawa nila. Unlike what I've seen from Jesse Vash a while ago on towards the B Heaven position. But Empress being committed, there's gonna be the Lear, and of course the Brimstone throwing up a smoke just not in time here just to even go for the B Heaven take. There's gonna be the Molotov to at least zone everyone out, but we're not gonna be seeing this POV ni Tony Banks na kung saan makakuha mga siya ng tatlo, at mukhang that's a quick refrag ng galing from Trix. Trix all on her own, playing this one on a 1v2. The spike is not to be in her possession just yet. Of course, that cheeky angle na makikita natin from Justin Weaver is a good enough headshot angle just to even finish off the round and put this out on a 6-5 score.
Last round of the first half. You know what? All things considered, Ling, Gibo and friends are doing such an amazing job on attack. Napakahirap pasukin ng B-side nila. But, that 5-man push onto Heaven, I mean, that was a good idea. Just trying to overwhelm everything. I guess Tony Banks, napakaganda ng position niya dun sa rafters. Just laying waste to the whole team, essentially. And perhaps a bit of miscom there when they walled off CT stairs.
Medyo nahihirapan talaga sila to further aggress given there's literally one entry point to even take on towards the side. And dun sila nadali. It's literally one angle lang binabatay nito. Banks, and everyone was basically laying out the frags for him. Nakusan, there's basically no trades ang mangyayari dito. Unlike what's happening here on Super MJ, wherein basically defender side are going to be completely punishing anyone who's going in for the A main push. And Trix, mukhang siya na naman po matitira dito. Although we're going to be seeing Orbital Strike na still going to be online and lockdown, but I don't think that's going to be a really necessary ability to even be using on a 1v4.
I mean,
7-5.
it's just 7-5 scoreline.
Switching
All
sides.
things considered, Gibo and Friends had a good run on attack. Now they are going to be on defense right now. Let's see if they can fare better on defense. Arguably, both teams have balanced team comps when it comes to being favored on attack or defense. They don't have a Cypher, so Jet can. It doesn't really matter if Jet can dash through those tripwires, but the Jet can dash over those nano swarms as well. And you can smoke out the turret using the cloud smoke. So Super MJ can take care of that as the entry frag. So let's see. It looks like they're going to be going for a mid control here, Ling.
The thing into play dito that I would really have to consider is their choice of controllers on towards this map. Attacker side with the Brimstone, in-expect mo talaga it's gonna be an all or nothing execute na kung saan they have to be forcing out for the explosive plays, na kung saan they have to secure the sites or make use of the smokes as much as possible. Unlike what we are gonna be seeing here, Jesse Bash mukhang mapabilitan talaga sila to actually break down the walls here. Na mukhang mas they're gonna be stuck on towards mid control. We're in Gibo with the Frenzy being able to take on one. Tony Banks being the first one to fall down on towards the Vashers, but mukhang they're not gonna be getting anything out of that yet because Kato is gonna be denying the refrag na mangyayari dito. Try to at least go in with the fake back. Mukhang aabang na siya dito sa ropes to even think na may tatalon pa talaga dito because I might have to say it's a pretty powerful choke point na may utilize niya and play around with na kung saan the frenzy might actually be really fully utilized at this point given that the fire rate na to even counter the aggression ginagawa nila dun. Attacking side mahirapan talaga sila on towards mid control at this point.
I'd just like to point out, no, ganda ng defense si Trix dito sa B-Heaven. Yung wall yung barrier orb na nilagay niya dun sa B-Heaven, hindi siya yung karaniwang lugar eh. Jesse Vash though, able to right-click
30 seconds left.
onto A-Ramp. Pero ang ganda ng ginawa niya dun no? Parang they were left in an awkward position there and they were forced to rotate. Pero mukhang favorable na ang condition dito for the Vashers. Let's see if they can actually win this out with 15 seconds left on the clock.
One enemy remaining.
15 seconds and basically not enough time, but the attackers will not be needing that at all. My god, they
Frenzy
have to wipe
squad.
everyone on the server. And the frenzies are definitely going to be coming out to play, diba?
Yeah, I mean, that was such an impressive attack phase there for pistol round. You don't typically see the clock running down to that extent. Ang ganda na ng ginawa ni Trixton sa B-Heaven, as I mentioned earlier. It was really able to stall them and perhaps maybe drain 30, almost 40 seconds and cause them to rotate. But in the end, they just won their duels and, the frenzy sort of took over that end of the round. Now it seems to be going for an 8-take here.
Going for an 8-take. Boombot spawning off one. There's some good Angels coming out to play. And of course, he's going to be a quick tag down coming out from the frag grenades and makita natin dito. But aggressive play coming out from there. He is going to be getting enough info. Justin Weaver already with the post-pan situation. Seems like Super MJ with the arrows aggressing on towards screens, holding off a single angle here, waiting for at least someone to go in for the push. But Killjoy is not going to be deciding that just yet. Who's at the turret and mukhang dun pa nga niya maririnig na at least someone is going to be going in there to even go for the aggressive peaks. But Gato, Spectre in hand, seems like a retake could actually be possible here given that they have the upgrades so far. But seems like mukhang inaabangan nila for someone na mag-aasim dito coming out from their position. Here's one at second though, coming out from the elbow swing, but Tony Banks is going to be baiting off his teammate at mukhang that's going to be another kill being secured for themselves. But seems like the shorties, mukhang dito pa nga natin nilalabas to possibly get at least one to even go in for the backstab here, but he's not going to be successful in that effort. And Tony Banks po, makakatatlo sa round na to, and attackers winning a round once again.
A lot of them did upgrade that previous round, so we did expect that sort of outcome. Now it's going to be more rifles abound for both of our teams, with 2 Spectres for Tony Banks and Lax. Jesse Vash sticking on that LMG. Now, ito na talaga yung third round turnaround na dapat mangyari for Gibo and Friends. This is nighttime for them to have a momentum shift kasi meron silang gun advantage. So we'll see if they can make it work. Mag-aggress dito si Foods. Pero wala siyang makukuha ang pick.
Oh, wala talaga sila makakuha ang pick dito because so far the defender side are not going to be giving the openings na kinakailangan nila. Double duelist naman po nakikita natin, which pretty much is gonna be aggressive. Like sabihin talaga, expected talaga that there will be aggressive picks. There will be duels that they really have to be contesting for, given that the Jet and the Wraiths honestly needs the openings here just to even make the side takes a little bit more easier coming out from the attacking side. But of course, the default play is definitely gonna be kicking in here. Na kung saan they're inclining more on towards the mid control, but little do they know that the Reyna is playing in for the smoke once again, just to even deny everyone for that choke point aggression, and then basically punish anyone who's basically trying to at least gain a little bit more map control all the way from A heaven. But the one-way smoke Monte, he's not gonna be going in for that risky swing. But paranoia coming into play. Killjoy is holding off just one angle, but the double B heaven defense here coming out from Trix, and of course Sky Trix na dalawa dito, but Foods decides to join in the party, clearing out everyone, basically trying to go in for the
30
swing
seconds
there.
left.
But seems like we're gonna be left with Lax playing this on a 1v4 here.
Yeah, that was just really well played from Gibo and friends. They gave a lot of space, especially in mid. Pero yun yung problema eh. If you give a lot of space in mid, you have the tendency to be overwhelmed, especially, over there at B Heaven dahil naka-Spectre pa yung iba. So you'd expect them to sort of go 5-man rush a certain section of the map. Pero ang ginawa ng Gibo and friends doon, nag-stack pa rin sila. So they gave space, however, they did stick together and provided sufficient firepower to stop that push. And of course, si Trix again, not having the best game in terms of frags, but definitely a lot of value off those slow orbs and barrier orbs, sealing off Heaven B.
Basically sealing off anyone and not really giving anyone a really good time here on towards this game. But kung tutusin talaga natin, they have actually done nothing to even punish yung mga position na ginagawa ng defender side. But so far, mukhang may masasagot pa nga ang attacking side, given that how many people are already dead. Gador is being forced out to even play for the Empress, and of course, the Lear being baited out here just to even go in for the swing. But he's only going to be spotting off one. There's going to be the first one to fall down. Lax putting this out on a really quick one para kay Gador, because the retake mukhang hindi pa ito mangyayari because no bomb plant has been happening so far coming up from the attacker side. They're basically trying to wipe out anyone in the server, but seems like defending. Dito na talaga nila gustong ilalabas yung mga laro. If you want us to dance to this beat, ibibigay talaga nila yun. All out duels, and so far no objectives being completed here coming out from both teams. And seems like they are gonna be trying to play this one out around that play. Ayaw talaga nila ibibigay mid control, but once again, kapag ibibigay nila yun, defender side talaga, medyo, sabihin talaga, they're confident that they basically have something to say in case you're planning this one out really, once again, onwards this mid control.
I'd like to see them try and sort of bait out mid-control utilities, but, maybe they could go A at this point in time. It's just B Heaven is too much of a cluster to handle. SVR Food is just fragging out there. Trix just takes down Lux. I mean, that was an eco round. And the Vashers, they can't afford to lose a couple of rounds here and there. They are still in the lead, 9-8 scoreline in favor of the Vashers. That was an eco round the previous one. And now they're gonna have rifles. So, tignan natin kung may ibang play nila dito. Ayan, mag-heavy stack na sila sa A. Diba? Kasi yun yung gumagana sa kanila during their past, during their past executes. There's very little you can do when Justin Weaver just latches onto rafters with that showstopper online. Diba? Ang hirap-hirap patayin ng Raze pag tatalon siya from A main to rafters. It really catches you off guard.
Definitely off guard here, but the showstopper is not going to be connecting their shot. Foods though, with the 2K already long, that's going to be pretty much a good opening. Of course, a counter play coming out from the defender side. Itong hindi ko nagigets kasi is basically, as attacker side, it's supposed to be the other way around. You're supposed to be the one overwhelming everyone on towards the side, on towards mid. Pero nangyayari dito, defending side is basically someone na pinipilit talaga sila, na iniipit talaga sila, kahit on basically any part of the map that are basically aggressing in. Quick rotations nga naman nakikita natin coming out from Gibo and friends, but rather here, the Vashers have literally done have nothing at this point to even
Mhm.
counter that one out. They could actually bait out yung mga rotations, try to disrupt or even cut off yung mga whatever rotation they're trying to do, but seems like they have not really done enough effort in that so far. Kasi mid control is not a good way to go. We've seen the tricks foods dynamic here na ginagawa nila, just even go in for that map control na ginagawa nila, but seems like honestly, there really isn't. There really should be something more that I should be saying. B-Heaven is not really a good way for them to. I mean, go in. Choke points aren't exactly like the ideal duels that they're supposed to be taking in.
Oh,
But Super
unfortunate.
MJ, ooh,
Here.
really
I mean, he had
unfortunate
that blade
there.
storm. He had that blade storm. He had the right idea. I think going mid control to vents would have been sort of better because the Reyna and the Omen is left to defend A by themselves, and of course B is gonna be harder to sort of penetrate here. Food's getting a kill with that Odin. Jesse Vash, he has a resurrection, but Gado is just guarding that corpse right there. I'm not sure if Jesse can get a resurrection at this point in time. Especially not worth, during an eco run. Might as well save it for the next one. But I definitely agree with you there, Ling.
30 seconds left.
It's just so hard when the anti-flank is just not there, You have Gado who is absolutely relentless in going for those big flanks. And when Arena gets a single kill, it can just, rack him up altogether, especially on a big flank like that. And Gado is looking very much on fire right now. 26 frags, still matched MVP. 20 backs, though, having a really good game as well with, I believe, 19 frags on the board for the side of the Vashers. I
But
mean,
ito
they
na.
could make a play with the lockdown, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Well, ang mahirap kasi talaga nito, if they play around that, that's gonna make their side takes a little bit more predictable on how it's gonna be happening. Kasi there's always gonna be a counter lockdown that's gonna be online coming out from Gibo and friends. But seems like here, kailangan talaga nila ipakita na something explosive to even counter whatever aggression or counter-aggression na ginagawa ng Gibo and friends at this point with their side holds, with their B-Heaven control. Kasi ang hirap to even contest those. They have to give out something. They literally have no flashes to even make the peaks even a lot more easier coming
Right.
out from their attacking side. And that's what makes their job a little bit harder. Of course, makikita natin dito, the one way is to makikita natin coming out from the jet, although the lockdown being committed, just to even go for the B side take. Seems like Flax is gonna be making an opening on towards the side, and they are gonna be swarming on towards the side, swarm grenade on towards CT, and mukhang there's gonna be a play that's gonna be coming out for the attacking.
Yeah, really good use of utilities right there. That's basically everything they got. And you made a very good point, Ling. Sa team comp nila Vashers, no? Wala silang flash, wala silang paranoia. Yun yung downside of having Brim versus Omen. But it's gonna be MJ versus Gibo and Foods. Now it's gonna be a 1v1. See if he can actually clutch this out. But Gibo will take it for his team. And the spike defuse 9-11 in favor of Gibo and friends. Really well played there from the defense. I mean, that was everything they had. Like they used orbital strike, they used lockdown, still no avail.
Still no avail talaga sila mga Kotir. Although they were able to even go for the spike land, pero ang mahirap talaga dito, they literally have nothing else to follow up. Like aim duels, they've been failing at that at some point, which is something that I don't really understand because they give out so much in the round, but seems like ayoko talaga ng mga teams like this, even magiging kampante sila. Okay, we got the plan plan. You really have to take note that, post-ban situations are as important as the side takes tulad na ginagawa natin dito. But of course,
Have to
no
agree
side
with
takes
you.
so far because, on the other side of the map, you're gonna be seeing a few tag downs here and there. That's gonna be putting this round on a 3v3. Isang napakalaking crosshair po para kay Gibo at mukhang wala pa siyang makikitang heads na papasok dyan para sa kanyang aim. Although Gadoto is already playing on towards mid. Sana inaabangan talaga to even go in for the plank. But of course, wala pang spike na mapaplant dito. Quick kill coming out from Justin Weaver with the Guardian. And of course, Gado mo with the Vandal is gonna be there to even be mapatulogin na natin muli dito. And finally, that's gonna be the round na papunta para sa the Vashers.
I mean, that was a huge round for the Vashers. If they lost that one, that would have been a nail in the coffin because they did sort of go for that desperation buy na parang, alam mo yun, pag 11 points ng kalaban, then you tell the team na parang, tara, I don't want to play for tie. It's trying to force this. That's why Justin Weaver was on that Guardian. And that was just really well played. really good showcase of mechanical skill. You know, the Guardian is a great value weapon if he could actually hit your one taps. But he did. And he did get a multi-kill right there. Gibo with the operator over there at Fence. He will be repositioning. I mean, you know, we made fun of Gibo's crosshair, but, you know, he's having a really good game right now. And definitely a thorn on the side of the Vashers.
Definitely a thorn on the side, and of course makikita natin dito attacking, aggressing towards mid control once again. It seems like they're not gonna be doing anything at this point coming out from the defenders except for Tricks though. Mukhang una na pa yung bipitas sa Super MJ. Boombot coming into play. Jesse Vash po mukhang makakapitas with the operator para kay Gato. Besides could actually be completely open here, but little do we know that early the rotation is gonna be coming out for play para kay Gibo. There's gonna be an early ultimate na makikita natin, but the operator po isang angle lang po mababantayan niya, and this could not actually be good news for them because the Vashers have gone for the fake on towards mid, on towards that B take once again. But seems like they're gonna be trying to at least re-aggress towards mid. But of course, si Trix nag-aabang na dito for someone to even cross down his path so far. Resurrection coming into play. But kung si Trix makakuha pa nga ng isa, no, he doesn't.
30
Tony
seconds
Banks with a
left.
refrag, and mukhang showstopper might be coming into play para kay Trix dito. And of course, he's gonna get walled off almost immediately. Goes for the satchel play. Showstopper, hindi pa ilalabas, but Gibo mukhang inaabangan lang po niya ang ultimate ng galing sa kanyang teammate, but Justin Weaver makapitas ang isa, so it's gonna be Super MJ Woods being the last one alive, but mukhang ito naman isang round na mapunta sa the Vashers.
It's just unfortunate that Tony Back's really good placement of that turret over there on rafters. And, you know, when you have an operator, you can't really sort of, you know, flick to that turret and to the target over there on ground level. So, I mean, that just really disabled the operator from Gibo over there at backside. Really well played. Good execute. Jesse Vash on his operator. Let's see if he can make some aggressive plays here. Probably going to contest either B main or Vents. I mean, he has an idea that B main always peeks out, right?
Definitely always peaks out, but considering how much that they were going to be losing here coming out from the defender side, operators really coming to play is going to be making the team like have to rely so much on the pickings na kinakailangan nila. They can't really go in for the full on aggressive plays, but this time around, tinitingnan natin dito, we're going to be putting this out on a 4v5. Mukhang they have not been going in for the operator investment so far kasi alam talaga nila explosive plays na ginagawa ng Jesse, ng the Vashers, but seems like it's gonna be a good way for them to actually go because Tony Banks ultimate gonna be online. This might actually go into play, but seems like Lax all on her own, picking up the spike dito. And so far they haven't really aggressed so much on towards the map. And we're gonna be forcing this out to even go in for the burst play. Tricks po mukhang papasabugin po on towards B tunnels, but so far no one is going in for the early push. They could actually bait with this one out to go in for that B side tick and trigger the early rotation na ginagawa ng Gibo and friends. And there's gonna be Weaver picking up a few openings dito para maput na tayo dito sa 4v3. Mukhang A side is completely on towards his taking. Mukhang Sage has already
30
walled off to
seconds
even
left.
cut down the rotation sa mga galing coming up from vents. And of course, they might actually go for the bomb plant so far. Nako, 3v4. Quick opening para kay Jesse Bass. Denying anyone to even go in for the CT
big
push
plays.
dito. Could possibly get another one, but the bomb plant po na ginagawa natin dito and the post plant na ginagawa coming out from Irab is basically enough to even go and make the situation a little bit more doable. Gado ito, ang value sa pagiging aggressive early on towards the map. He still has showstopper. He still has enough satchels to even go for the showstopper play dito, but he's not gonna be spotting off anyone just yet. Reyna against Raze. Showstopper being left on the line, but Gado po nanggagaling sa likod, and it's gonna be the one to at least finish your life so far in this game and putting the round to a match win para sa Gibo and friends.
Ganda ng ginawa ni Gado na. He sort of baited the rotate
Match
over
point.
there on the right side of elbow, but he just went on the left there. Yung ginagawa ni Justin Weaver dun, he tried to sort of just stall and prevent the defuse and wait for that peak. I think, you know, that was really the best thing he could have done at that situation. Perhaps maybe letting go of that rocket and then just trying to go to finish off the Vandal. But again, mistakes were made. And really good effort coming in from Jesse Vash, you know, cutting off that CT rotation with the operator. He was able to get two, but was flanked out by Gado in the end. Now it's going to be match point for Gibo and friends. The burden is going to be on the Vash. Super MJ with the Blade Storm. Is he going to be able to make a play right here?
They're able to even make a play. And of course, mukhang mapipilitin talaga natin ang makakalason dito ang kuhin natin sisters coming out from Xbox. A few assistants here, they're coming out from Tukadok. They could actually go in for the leader prey, but mukhang wala silang trade na makukuha dito coming out from this. Although, pipilitin talaga nila to even zone out people playing out from Vents without orbital strike. Not really a good investment in ultimates considering this is going to be the match point na manggagaling from Gibo and friends. But Tricks though, forcing out the resurrection, walls not being breaking down just yet. No aggressive peaks nagagaling sa Vashers. Once again, going for the standard mid control na pinipilit nila. Although Justin Weaver mukhang pipilitin pa nga itong play dito. Coming out from B-Tunnels, little does he know na may killjoy na nag-aabang sa side with the judge. At mukhang ayaw talaga natin mag-judge. Napakagandang position there. But seems like they haven't been deciding on which side to take so far except for Jesse Vash. Mukhang gumagawa na siya ng trabaho dito. Wiping out everyone
30 seconds
who's going to be going in for that counter mid control, and they're inclining more on towards that A take. Smokes being on to play, and of course the Omen doesn't really know what's happening so far because the dash out even denied the frag na makuha nindo. He's going to be putting Gibo on a pretty tight spot na mapapatay siya.
Oh, I just love that spot. Super MJ over there by the glass. He does take down Justin. Tricks, and then Food takes Justin Weaver. Tony Banks finishes the deal. We're going to overtime, Ling. 12-12. This is such an
Switching
intense match,
sides.
such a close match.
Overtime.
Even in the KDA scoreboard, we're sort of seeing a bit more even numbers here. So really, this is a bit of a toss-up. This can go either way. Both teams showing much more ability to defend rather than attack here. So,
Medyo, honestly, coming up from like attacking side ng coming up from both these, medyo nakikita ko na medyo kalat sila. I'm pretty sure this is their way to actually figuring out on where to go, or like whatever's gonna be happening at this point. Because I don't really see much structure when it comes to like both of teams. Honestly, attacking side,
Right.
parang as expected, diba? They're all of the players tonight are basically talented. Sabihin talaga natin na are quite good in themselves, but it's really hard for them to actually play around a team such as theirs. Parang masasabi talaga natin, could possibly the first time they're playing together, and it actually
absolutely, and that's part of
so
the
far.
fun here in GGEZ, right? It's this sort of fantasy draft format, and this is a sort of matchup that we're probably never gonna see in an alternate reality, but we're living the dream right here, and this is a spectacle so far. And all of our matches so far here in the GGEZ All-Star Invitational has been this sort of narrative. It's been very, very close. Looks like they are waiting, just beyond that wall, trying to wait for it to break, and then they're going to burst onto a B split. I mean, I like this, They're not
Definitely.
giving any sort of info. This is really good position for them. And maganda yung point mo kanina Ling na may flash yung side ng Gibo and Friends. Dalawa yung flash nila. You have the Paranoia and the Lear from Reyna. And kaya yung Vashers parang medyo nahihirapan sila. Because one, they don't have a flasher, and that's a thing. That's a
the
really
they
big
actually
thing.
Definitely
30
have
seconds
to need. But of course, makikita natin dito. Reset coming to play by Mukhang. That's gonna be two people being left alone. But Tricks po, mukhang gusto pa nga niya makakabackstab ng isa. Although first match situation, magpupilitin lang din ang magagawa dito on towards B. And seems like Omen and Killjoy low on HP. This could actually be a round completely doable for Super MJ. But mukhang sinaabangan nila to even catch out someone who's gonna be going in for the flank. Of course, makikita natin the last smoke being deployed coming out from Daks, but Super MJ aggressing his way on towards Hell, but Wong Foods is gonna be completely punishing that. 31 HP, mukhang ito na po ang round na inaabangan natin to even play out coming out from Blacks, with the Omen being low on HP, but that's basically enough to even finish off another one coming out from Gibo.
Yeah, that was absolutely the right
Switching
idea, but
sides.
of course, because advantage could be
Match
falling into the favor of Gibo right there. 12-13 in favor of Gibo and friends. Now, once more, the burden is on the side of the Vashers. Can they pull something up their sleeve here to win out the attack phase once again? Jesse Vash on the alert, proven to be successful time and again for the Vashers, so they could play it really, really slow once more and see if they can adjust accordingly.
Well, this is actually a pretty hard dynamic na pipilitin talaga ng the Vashers here on towards this game. Kasi, you know, ulit-ulit natin na-mention, it's hard to contest for duels with given that no flash pick or support na mga galing coming out from your team. Ang pinakamagandang dynamic na talaga pipilitin nila here is basically them winning straight up the dry picks. But that could actually be bad news if may operator ang Gibo. But thankfully, wala.
Thankfully, wala eh.
Relying, thankfully wala. But you know, parang it's gonna be a hard time for for them to actually get openings here kasi we're gonna be relying on the Jet, on the Rays, na kung saan there's basically nothing else na follow up coming up from their teammates once they actually go in for the aggressive side takes. But seems like here parang we're gonna be checking out for more info. Pinipili talaga nila to even bait out anyone to even go na mag-aasim ang Gibo and friends at this point. But you know, hindi nila binibigay yung mga duels na yun eh kasi alam nila kinakailangan talaga ng the Vashers to even make the kills, to even make the frags. Raise Jet really have to step up
30
at this
seconds
point
left.
to even make the side takes a lot easier, create space for the team para naman makakuha sila ng side takes, and of course, complete the objectives here. Like what we're seeing a while ago. Trix though is gonna be denied
Oh
that
my
we
gosh,
have an
that could have
aggression
been
here
the
with
nail in
that
the coffin
quick
there.
spray down.
Let's
And
see if
of
that
course-
can be enough.
Ooh, not gonna be enough though because mukhang mapapatay pa nga
10
siya
seconds though.
sa pag-aasim na dito. 10 seconds left on the clock. Gadopo, parang sinusubukan niya to even go in for the backstab here.
Planted.
But the bomb is gonna be going in for the plant all towards A side. So dito na nangyayari. Gadopo picking off another one. Last being the one to fall down and Killjoy low on HP. 36. There's gonna be the lockdown being committed to even make this round a little more doable para mag-incline more on towards his favor. Advantage is gonna be his once the time is gonna be running out, but Gado mukhang tatapusin ang larong to at 12-14. Go in for the defuse, and that's gonna be the game na mapunta para sa Gibo and friends.
Really well played from both of our teams. That could have been an even more intense match. And that's what we come to expect from the GG Easy All-Star Invitational. Again, this sort of fantasy draft matchup, sort of alternate reality wherein pro teams and content creators collide and trade places. And of course, very stellar performance there from crowd favorite Brent Valorant team coach Gibo and friends. Very well played. Gado himself, he was just absolutely on fire, just absolutely online during that time, fragging out, going for those flanks. Really well played. Again, parang, they had that slight edge, arguably, no, like, sa team comp. Kasi, obviously, yung sa Brimstone pick for the side of Lax, you have a finite amount of smokes as opposed to an Omen, wherein may cooldown yung smokes, tapos, you can just sort of fake or do a bait and switch. But you can't really afford to do that when you have a finite amount of smokes, when you only have like 3 smokes like that. So.
Yeah, which honestly makes a huge difference for this game. Alam talaga natin team composition na walang ka flash, especially when like we are actually trying to play around that. Mahihirapan talaga kayo playing on attacking side. Yes, it's gonna be effective to even counter or at least stall enough time for the team to actually play on towards the defender. Given that on these smokes, basically play around that, play for time, and that's crucially enough, but so far hindi natin nakikita yun coming out from the team. And it was a really good try coming out from their team, but I might have to say I gotta give props to Gado and Trix popping off on towards this round, and of course binibigay talaga ng mga impact frags to make the round a little bit more easier. Retakes even made more possible coming out the frags na binibigay niya para sa kanilang team. Side takes, I might have to say parang duelists, they have been effective on towards this role so far, and pinakita talaga na ngayong gabi yun. And
Okay.
Gibo and friends have done it once again. I mean, have
very
done
well
it.
played.
Yeah, well played.
To both of our teams. And may natutunan ako, Ling. Tatry ko copyin yung crosshair ni Gibo, yung gumagalaw na ganun. Lumalaki pa nagsa-sidestep. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna be throwing it back to our lovely hosts, Terror and Laika. Back to you guys.
Yan, thank you so much, Vyminal and Ling. Terror, wala ako masabi sa laban na to. Tuwang-tuwa ako manood, napaka-entertaining. Umabot pa tayo dun sa point ng overtime. Pero of course, congratulations dito sa ating Gibo and Friends na team. Napakagandang laban ang pinakita nyo sa amin. So ikaw, Terror, para sa'yo, ano ba yung highlight ng game na to? Nako, nakamute ka. Hindi pa kita marinig.
Sorry. Pasensya na. Ito na. Yun na nga sana yung itatanong ko sa'yo. Ano yung highlights? Pero para sa akin, the legendary crosshair at napakalaking crosshair ni Gibo dito. Grabe. At saka aside from that, balita ko nagkalabasan daw ng Odin. Oo, nagkalabasan ng ating beautiful na baril. And with that, I just want to talk about the game. Just isang mabilisan lang, no? Surprisingly, grabe yung mga laro natin ngayong araw. Nung first match natin, sobrang close fight. Itong ating pangalawang match sa araw na ito, grabe din kalapit. Nakita naman natin, nag-overtime pa tayo. Parang nandun yung chemistry kahit na hindi sila talaga magkaka-team. Kahit galing sila sa iba't ibang mga team dito. Plus, Gado really shined sa larong to. He was really on fire. And the flanks, I mean, the engagements, yung punish na binibigay niya papunta sa team ng the Vashers, grabe.
Oo. Alam mo, dito ako natutuwa kasi, di ba sabi mo nga, magkalapit yung mga score so far ng matches na napapanood natin. Sa first game, comeback is real yung tema nung larong yon. Pero ngayon, dikit kung dikit yung laban. Kitang-kita natin, hindi talaga nila pinaglalayo yung score. Laging, kung kami mananalo ngayon, babawi naman yung kalaban sa susunod. Laging ganun Kaya sobrang intense nung laban. And kita mong ayaw talaga magpaawat, ayaw magpatalo ng kahit sinong teams dito.
Totoo yan. And sinasabi ko kanina, I love playing this map, yung split natin. As a Sage, nakita natin kanina, you can literally wall off yung mga choke points natin and talagang madedelay mo ng sobra yung mga players na pumupush talaga, mapamid man yan. Kahit nga, isipin mo, kahit attacking ka na i-wall off mo, papunta, mare-reduce yung pagpa-flank ng mga teams natin dito o ng mga players natin from the attackers or defending side rather. And napakatinding mga laban and matches na makikita natin dahil yung susunod na match natin, maganda-ganda rin to. Parang interesting din to dahil ang susunod na match natin ay ang Going Bulilit versus the Wolf Pack.
Exciting
Ito na yung
exciting
yung boto ko.
yan.
Nandito
Kasi
ang
nga,
boto ko.
part ng childhood mo yan
Oo,
di ba? Si
parte
Nash
na-
andyan. Excited din yung ibang tao na hindi pa nakakalood ng stream niya na makita kung paano ba maglaro to. Pero syempre guys, bago pa tayo mapunta dyan sa laban na yan, meron tayong mga giveaways na ipamimigay mamaya. So, sumali na kayo ngayon habang may chance pa kayo. Andun sa pinned comment at sa description natin yung mga official hashtags na kailangan yung gamitin at kailangan nyo lang mag-like and share publicly ng ating stream. And pwede kayong manalo ng XSplit licenses, Gcash, and Legion peripherals at meron pa. Kapag sinagutan nyo yung poll na meron tayo, nasa pinned comment yan dun sa ating Facebook stream, meron ring moderator na nagchat yan sa Twitch. Pag nag-vote kayo dun sa poll, may chance kayong manalo ng jacket. Total malamig yung panahon ngayon, bagay na bagay yan.
Meron tayong breaking news. The next match, di ba kanina, nagkaroon tayo ng konting delay with our match dahil nga nagkaroon ng technical difficulty with regards din kay Naberg, nawalan sila ng kuryente. Our next match will be Bren NM versus Jillian's Angels. Ito na yung inaantay nung ating mga viewers sa ating comment section. Nagtataka sila, tapos na ba yung laro? O kaya ano na nangyari? Nawala na ba? Na-cancel na ba? No. This time around, finally, we're gonna see them play. And after that, makikita na natin yung ating Going Bulilit versus the Wolf Pack. So, abangan nating lahat yan. Again, check ko lang yung pin comment natin para makasali kayo sa ating giveaway. But don't go away! GG Easy All-Star Invitational will be right back.
2020